we got some new players in town that are spitting the CPN knowledge, and they're saying that you shouldn't use a secured credit card when building a credit profile. Now, before I get into this video, I'm going to say that this video is for entertainment/education purposes only. This is not a call to action. This is just for fun. I'm just a superhero, guys. Now that I got that out of the way, let's get on with the content. Now, when it comes to using a secured card, there's some new YouTubers that hit the scene. A lot of them wear masks, and some of them are saying you shouldn't use a secured card. They're saying you should do the age progression thing when it comes to authorized user trade lines. You should put authorized user trade lines on your profile that are in an age progressional manner. Like your newest card is going to have the highest limit, and your oldest card is going to have the lower limit to show that the progression of you getting approved for credit. Now, I hate to break it to you guys, but the whole age progression thing, that's something Mike over at Wholesale Trade Lines made up when he was selling trade lines at his trade line company back in the day. He made that shit up to sell more lines. Because think about it, people now gotta buy 3 lines instead of just 1. I'm gonna tell you guys why that's really not that important when it comes to a credit profile. It's because there's a little something called credit line increases. People, when they have older cards, get credit line increases sometimes. So their older card may have the biggest limit because they've had the card the longest and been able to build up a bigger limit by asking for credit line increases. So the whole thing of, oh, the profile has got to look a certain way, that's bullshit. Especially when it comes to authorized user trade lines, because banks can tell the difference between authorized user trade lines. They can tell, they can see it and say, all right, this is not a primary, this guy's added as an authorized user. You got to think, a lot of people have been trying to do the shit that everybody's been doing. I mean, this is like, everybody's got a course, everybody's an expert on how to do this now. So you got to think, a lot of people are trying to do this. Banks are getting wise. I mean, I hate to break it to you guys, but I will tell you right now, I still know a system or a way that shit works. It's if you go with the secured card after you get a small trade line. And I'm going to tell you why you should do that. Because when you make a CPN or buy one, there's a lot of factors that are outside of your control that will make that CPN could be a dud. I'm going to tell you why. It's because you got to think, people who are making these things, like a lot of them, they're going in, they're not remembering the last number they did. They're just trying to make them as fast as they can. Chances are, they're using the same number for 2 different people. There's other people that are doing this and they could use the same number. There's things that could happen as far as your profile could have merged. There's so many outside factors that could have happened that you're not going to know, because it's not like you can call up and be like, oh, hey, yes, Experian, I want you to just check on my CPN profile to make sure it hasn't merged. Like, they're not going to do that. They're not going to help you, all right? It's just, this is loophole shit. So when it comes to trying to build these things out, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You don't want to pay for 3 trade lines right out the rip and hope everything's going to work, because that's going to be expensive. What you want to do is you want to get a small trade line. Make sure that posts. That's a good sign. If you have a CPN, you're able to get credit monitoring and then be able to get an authorized user trade line to post. There's some people out there, they're trying to build these damn things. They can't even get credit monitoring. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you throw lines on something you can't even get credit monitoring with? Don't you think that not being able to get credit monitoring, that's a pretty good sign that there's something wrong? But hey, I digress. Another thing, so once you do that, once you get the credit monitoring, once you get that small authorized user trade line to post, then you go after the smaller accounts like the self-lenders, the kickoff credit, the stuff that doesn't actually give you a hard inquiry, but it does give you a primary. Because primaries are the most important thing when it comes to a credit profile. Authorized users will help, but they're not going to carry your profile. You need to have the primaries. You need to build this out. You can't just go in and skip steps and think you're going to skip to the end. No, you got to go through the steps if you're going to have a shot at anything. So after you get those starter accounts, if you even get approved for them without actually getting backlash as far as paperwork and stuff, because I'm going to level with you guys right now. Self-lender, they know what they're doing. They know that they're helping people with this, but it's it's a loophole in the law. And as far as them asking you for documents, they are obligated to do that, because if they can't validate you, they now have to ask for documents. They have to do that. The regulators make them do that. So it's not like it's like they want to approve you, but if you're not in the system or there's something wrong, they're going to ask you for documents, then they're going to close your account if they can't validate you. And I would rather have that happen than put a bunch of money into my profile just to get denied down the road because my shit, there's something wrong that was out of my control. So after I go and would get the starter accounts, then I would try to get the secured card at a major bank. Now, why a major bank? I heard YouTubers say that, oh, banks trust other banks. So that's why you want to get the age progressional trade lines. You want to see, they want to see a high limit with another bank. Yeah, banks trust banks, but banks trust themselves more. And if you get your ass into a bank with a primary account, even if it's a secured card, you're in the system. So the next time you apply, boom, you're already there. You don't have to worry about, oh, my shit's not, you're already there. Now it's just your credit score. And they're gonna look and see that you've made on-time payments. You have a way higher chance of getting approved. And I've seen firsthand with my eyes, I've seen people get a secured card, small limit, then they add a trade line on after they get the secured card. Then they go and they get the offer from American Airlines and get $9 grand. I've seen it multiple times. So the whole, get 3 trade lines out the rip, that is just not what you want to do. Just telling you right now. And as far as, what you need to do as far as building up a credit profile, I have a timeline that'll show you everything from start to finish. Just head on down to the Crusader cave. You can check it out. It shows you everything, and yes, it still works. So, I mean, it shows you everything. So when it comes to secured cards, yeah, you do want to get a secured card because that is the keys to the kingdom. You heard it from the Crusader. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Crusader out.